Coming right up, a special edition of Straight Talk. Farewell to the Chief. Our guest tonight, departing Long Beach Chief of Police Anthony Batts, as we start our first show of our 16th season.
Opinions expressed in the following program do not necessarily reflect the views of Charter Communications nor its sponsors. We recognize our obligation to present opposing points of view by responsible spokespersons. For information, please contact the director of program.
She stands in the face of evil and will not lose hope or faith. America, the land of freedom, is still the home of the brave. So raise the banner, call no glory, let us join our fellow man. History will write the story. America will always stand.
Straight Talk is brought to you in part by Southern California Edison. For over 100 years, life powered by Edison. The Press Telegram, your local news leader for over 100 years. And Long Beach Magazine. Coastal Living, City Style.
Join us for tonight's edition of Straight Talk. And now your host, Art Levine.
Good evening and welcome to Straight Talk. We're delighted you're joining us for the beginning of our 16th season on air. We're very honored to have as our guest tonight for the entire show the Chief of Police of the City of Long Beach, Anthony Batts. Chief Batts, welcome back to Straight Talk.
Thank you, Art. It's good to be back again.
I think it's your 10th visit here and probably 6 of them as the Chief of Police. And let me ask, many of our viewers know that it's been announced that our guest, Chief Batts, is leaving to take the position of Chief of Police in the city of Oakland. And so the obvious first question, Chief, is why are you leaving?
Good question, Art. I kind of put it in this way. I've been with this organization, Long Beach Police Department, my entire adult life. This is the only job I've had. And you know, you talk to a number of friends, and you and I both teach and a number of students, they share about adults now will have anywhere from 5 to 6 to 7 different jobs. And I think Long Beach Police Department is doing extremely well. I think it's in a good place. I love this city. I love these people. When I go to the city of Oakland, when I do my job there, my intent is to return to the city of Long Beach, where I intend to retire because I love this city so much. So I think it's more of a personal challenge. I have a saying in one of my rooms. I have a workout room at my house. I have 3 bedrooms. I made it into a workout room, and it says, "What would you do if failure was not an issue?" So at this time and stage of my life, what I would do is take on a very tough challenge to see if I can make it better for other people.
I had heard through my sources that that's exactly why you took it, and I was even told that you were offered the job in January and declined it, and then you were up for a funeral involving a tragic shooting, and it just crystallized your thinking, and that is a real challenge up there.
Oakland is definitely a challenge. If you look at the crime rates for the largest 10 cities, when I took over as Chief of Police here in the city of Long Beach in 2002, we were around about 8, as far as the best being 1 and the worst being 10. We were about 8, and through great work by my command staff and the diligent police officers that go out there and do a great job, we're closer to about 5 or 4. So we've come a long way, and we continue. Our goal is to get to number 1, which is the safest large city in the state of California. Oakland right now tends to be 10. It has some challenges, it has some problems. and it has a number of youth that are losing their lives on a regular basis. However, I think there's tremendous opportunity there for the city. There's tremendous opportunity for the police department to get better, and if I could be a piece of that, just a small piece of that, I hope to make a difference.
Well, we wish you every success in that major undertaking. So just to state for the record, the budgetary problems that we're experiencing here in Long Beach were not a significant or even partial reason for your departure.
No, and I'll defer to something that you said earlier. As I've been chief here for, it's going on probably my 8th year now, in October. I've had budget reductions every single year I've been chief. I don't know anything else. That's a norm for
Well, wait a
me.
minute. The crime rate's been going down,
Yeah.
and the budget's been going down.
Yes.
Maybe we should continue to cut, and the crime rate will continue to go down.
That may not be a good. That may not be a good correlation. But we have been challenged by budget issues here every year at the city of Long Beach, and we've done well, and we've become more efficient. Oakland's in a worse financial shape than the city of Long Beach, and surely my drive is to see if I can help save some of the lives that are out there. You know, they had 4 officers. You talked about the shootings of the officers, and I believe it was March 21st. You had 4 officers who were murdered within a 3-hour period. You had 2 officers who did a traffic stop on an individual who came out of the car, much like officers Yap and Wade here in the city of Long Beach. But their gunshots were fatal in a horrific way. And then you had 2 SWAT guys who went in to identify the suspect who was hiding out, barricaded, and they lost their lives also. And that's where my interest peaked. But when I went to the funerals of those officers, you can see how devastated the police department is, and you can also see what a large chasm there is between the citizens and that police organization.
And there's a significant black population in Oakland, and you as a black police officer with all of your professional training, including Harvard, PhDs, and the whole works, have a chance to maybe bridge that gap a bit.
Well, strangely enough, it's not really. I think the perception is that it's primarily a black city, but it is the city is as diverse as Long Beach. If you took both cities on a piece of paper, the diversity is almost the same as Long Beach. Here in Long Beach, the Hispanic population is just slightly above the others. There, the African American population is just slightly above, but extremely diverse in both cities. The density, the level of poverty, the affluent areas, like we have Belmont Shore and the East End and Naples that are very beautiful. They have their Montclair area up in the hills, so you have very affluent areas. The cities are almost equally the same. The interesting part is what is driving the crime rate in Oakland compared to what happens here.
And ironically, they both live in the shadow of a major neighboring city, Los Angeles for us and San Francisco for them.
In Long Beach, we don't live in the shadows of any city. We are
Good.
our own city.
Well said.
And in Oakland, that will change.
Amen to that. Well, we're going to continue this conversation with the chief, and then when we begin the next segment, we will ask the chief, does Long Beach have enough cops? Stay with us. We'll be back after these messages.